welcome to the stream. Yeah. Boom. Y'all can read that. Today's topic is going to be Foucault. And Fortnite. There we go. Hi. Long time no see, y'all. I'm sitting by the couch here now, not by the table, so hopefully my Fortniting will be significantly improved, because if you've seen me stream before, you've seen me struggle because the TV was across the way a little bit. Let's see here if this is successfully functional. Am I live? I am live, aren't I? Okay. I believe. I'm trying. It's like, I don't know. Supposed to be like little stream avatars too and everything. Ha!
Stream elements.
There we go.
Stream elements bot running robot face.
All right. Okay. Stream elements bot running. Let's see if we can switch over to our main screen here. Yes. Okay. This is functional. Stream elements bot is running, and let's see if we have functional thing here. Welcome to the stream. I can spell. I got this. Oh. Okay. Am I gonna TTS myself here? Now, I feel like I should. This does, you would think. I don't know. My TTS doesn't seem to be.
School bus BOT.
Huh.
School bus SOY is
Okay.
now live. Streaming Fortnite, bus FN Philosophy Friday. Foucault.
Oh, man.
Reading the birth of the clinic.
Let's see. Reply commands, notifications. Okay, text-to-speech is on, so if it's not functional, you have my sincerest apologies. Attempts were made. So anyway, hello, welcome. I'm not really going to be writing anything on the wall. I just wanted to do that because it's fun. Yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, I went back down to 720p from 1080 because it looks like 1080p is a little high res, and some people don't have the internet to watch 1080 streams on the go, so figured I would move down for increased viewership, maybe. But yeah, it's been a few weeks since I streamed because I had some issues with the internet, which thankfully I was able to resolve at least somewhat recently. As here, let's go to this chat screen. As I work from home, and so that was kind of a necessity to do. I spoke recently about how I was starting a job as an academic editor, and I have made some headway into that. I'm doing well. I'm kind of in my introductory period. I'm in like phase 2 of the introductory period. I'm not really quite sure how that works, but yeah, it's quite neat. I get to correct doctors on what they've italicized wrong. It's so essentially what I do is I go through neuroscience papers before publication, usually by people who do not speak English as their first language. And so a lot of Chinese and Japanese physicians who in the field of neuroscience and neuropathology and neurology, and I go through and I copy edit and I make sure that the language is up to typical scientific standards. I make sure that formatting is on par. I make sure that there's no typos, that there are no issues with in-text citations and things like that. So I will be right back. I'm going to go tell my girlfriend that if she loves me, she should watch my stream because I'm currently at 0 viewers and that makes me sad. So I don't want to be sad. So I will be right back. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Alrighty. So I am returning now. Let's make sure that we are all good here. Stream is running. Good, good, good. Okay. Alrighty. So we talked about Foucault the other day. So it's not like I've got a whole redo of all that. But what I do have is this right here. So this is the birth of, there we go. The birth of the clinic. And I will be reading some random passages from this. I didn't really select anything. I'm just kind of going to go through, maybe read the preface, part of chapter 1, just bits and pieces. I'll be honest, this whole editing job has taken a lot of time. I've gone through something like a dozen manuscripts over the past week and a half, gone through tens of thousands of words of editing, many pages. So it's been a time crunch, and I also work in a call center from home, and so I've been pretty busy. And also working on the internet, because that was a major priority. So yeah, I haven't had much time to prep for streaming. I was going to do free will as a topic the other Friday, and that's what I had initially planned for today, but honestly just it kind of slipped away from me with all the other stuff. Moving over here to the couch is hopefully going to be a major improvement. So I would like to just start with a random passage from here and see. Yeah. So actually, one thing that I think is really neat is that so my father passed away, and when he passed away, we went through all of his books and his belongings, and he had a massive library, a really large collection of books that he'd acquired over the course of his life. He was a very learned person, 2 doctoral degrees, was always reading things, had published literature and stuff. And I kept a number of them. I kept a few boxes of interesting stuff. And one of the things that I not only kept, but also didn't put in storage and brought with me, and I have on the bus, was this Foucault book, because I was like, hey, philosophy, it's interesting. Guy talked about medicine and psychiatry. My dad was a psychiatrist, so some special relevance there. And I opened it many months after getting it from his living area, and on the first page I see that this was gifted to my father from my sister, who I had a relationship with growing up, but not very close one. And since my father died, I've had a much closer relationship with her, which has been really nice. But yeah, I see that this book was gifted from my sister to my father just 3 months after I was born. So I think that's really neat. That's especially neat. It adds some personal touch, some significance there. So yeah, let's go through. I guess because it's at the beginning, I'm going to read this list of books by Foucault. He wrote Madness and Civilization, A History of Insanity and the Age of Reason, The Birth of the Clinic, An Archaeology of Medical Perception. That's what this is. And that's kind of probably the majority of what I spoke about in the stream the other day. And yes, that Foucault video is still kind of being worked on. I've just been very busy. I'm also working on some Fiverr comparison videos where I talk about my experiences with Fiverr and using I've got some stuff from there, and I wanted to make a comparison video. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The Order of Things, An Archaeology of the Human Sciences, The Archaeology of Knowledge and the Discourse on Language. I, Pierre Rivière, having slaughtered my mother, my sister, and my brother, a case of parricide in the 19th century. Discipline and Punish, The Birth of the Prison. Herculine Barbin, being the recently discovered memoirs of a 19th century French hermaphrodite. Wow. The History of Sexuality, Volume 1, An Introduction. The Use of Pleasure, Volume 2 of the History of Sexuality. The Care of the Self, Volume 3 of the History of Sexuality. And Power/Knowledge, Selected Interviews and Other Writings from 1927 to 1977. And lastly, The Foucault Reader, edited by Paul Rabineau. All right, so The Birth of the Clinic, An Archaeology of Medical Perception, translated from the French by A.M. Sheridan Smith. published by Vintage Books, a division of Random House. Copyright 1973. I believe this was initially published, 63, by the Presse Universitaire de France. And here we go. I'm going to go through the table of contents real quick. Let's go through this chapter list, and then we'll start reading, and we'll get into some Fortnite here. Chapters. Preface. Spaces and classes. A political consciousness. The free field. The old age of the clinic. The lesson of the hospitals. Signs and cases. Seeing and knowing. Open up a few corpses. The visible invisible. Crisis in fevers. Conclusion. Bibliography. Index. Translator's note. One of the characteristics of Foucault's language is his repeated use of certain keywords. Many of these present no difficulty to the translator. Others, however, have no normal equivalent. In such cases, it is generally preferable to use a single unusual word rather than a number of familiar ones. When Foucault speaks of la clinique, he is thinking of both clinical medicine and the teaching hospital. So if one wishes to retain the unity of the concept, one is obliged to use the rather odd-sounding clinic. Similarly, I have used the unusual gaze for the common regard, except in the book's subtitle, I guess that's perception, where I have made a concession to the unprepared reader. Okay. Alrighty. Maybe I'll read a page. The preface is a bit lengthy, so preface, and then the birth of the clinic, chapter 1. So maybe we can get through this preface here while we do the streaming. This book is about space, about language, and about death. It is about the act of seeing, the gaze. Towards the middle of the 18th century, Pomme treated and cured a hysteric by making her take baths, 10 or 12 a day, for 10 whole months. At the end of this treatment for the desiccation of the nervous system and the heat that sustained it, Pomme saw membranous tissue like pieces of damp parchment peel away with some slight discomfort, and these were passed daily with the urine. The right ureter also peeled away and came out whole in the same way. The same thing occurred with the intestines, which at another stage peeled off from their internal tunics, which we saw emerge from the rectum. The esophagus, the arterial trachea, and the tongue also peeled in due course, and the patient had rejected different pieces either by vomiting or by expectoration. Less than 100 years later, I'm not going to keep doing this because there's quotes throughout this dang thing. All right. Less than 100 years later, this is how a doctor observed an anatomical lesion of the brain and its enveloping membranes. The so-called false membranes, frequently found on patients suffering from chronic meningitis. Their outer surface, which is next to the arachnoidian layer of the dura mater, adheres to this layer, sometimes very lightly, when they can be separated easily, sometimes very firmly and tightly, in which case it can be very difficult to detach them. Their internal surface is only contiguous with the arachnoid and is in no way joined to it. The false membranes are often transparent, especially when they are very thin, but usually they are white, gray, or red in color, and occasionally yellow, brown, or black. This matter often displays different shades in different parts of the same membrane. The thickness of these accidental productions varies greatly. Sometimes they are so tenuous that they might be compared to a spider's web. The organization of the false membranes also displays a great many differences. The thin ones are buffy, like the albuminous skins of eggs, and have no distinctive structure of their own. Others, on one of their sides, often display traces of blood vessels crossing over one another in different directions and injected. They can often be reduced to layers placed upon one another, between which discolored blood clots are frequently interposed. Okay. Between Pomme, who carried the old myths of nervous pathology to their ultimate form, and Bale, who described the encephalic lesions of general paralysis for an era from which we have not yet emerged, the difference is both tiny and total. For us, it is total because each of Bale's words, with its qualitative precision, directs our gaze into a world of constant visibility, while Pomme, lacking any perceptual base, speaks to us in the language of fantasy. But by what fundamental experience can we establish such an obvious difference below the level of our certainties in that region from which they emerge? How can we be sure that an 18th century doctor did not see what he saw, but that it needed several decades before the fantastic figures were dissipated to reveal, in the space they vacated, the shapes of things as they really are? What occurred was not a psychoanalysis of medical knowledge, nor any more or less spontaneous break with imaginary investments. Positive medicine is not a medicine that has made an objectal choice in favor of objectivity itself. Not all of the powers of a visionary space through which doctors and patients, physiologists and practitioners communicated. Stretched and twisted nerves, burning dryness, hardened or burnt organs, the new birth of the body and the beneficent elements of cool waters have disappeared. It is rather as if they had been displaced and closed within the singularity of the patient in that region of subjective symptoms that, for the doctor, defines not the mode of knowledge, but the world of objects to be known. Far from being broken, the fantasy link between knowledge and pain is reinforced by a more complex means than the mere permeability of the imagination. The presence of disease in the body, with its tensions and its burnings, the silent world of the entrails, the whole dark underside of the body lined with endless unseeing dreams, are challenged as to their objectivity by the reductive discourse of the doctor, as well as established as multiple objects meeting his positive gaze. The figures of pain are not conjured away by means of a body of neutralized knowledge. They have been redistributed in the space in which bodies and eyes meet. What has changed is the silent configuration in which language finds support, the relation of situation and attitude to what is speaking and what is spoken about. From what moment, from what semantic or syntactical change can one recognize that language has turned into rational discourse? What sharp line divides a description that depicts membranes as being like damp parchment from that other equally qualitative, equally metaphorical description of them laid out over the tunic of the brain like a film of egg whites? Do Bale's white and red membranes possess greater value, solidity, and objectivity in terms of scientific discourse than the horny scales described by the doctors of the 18th century? A rather more meticulous gaze, a more measured verbal tread with a more secure footing upon things, a more delicate, though sometimes rather confused choice of adjective. Are these not merely the proliferation in medical language of a style which, since the days of Galenic medicine, has extended whole regions of description around the grayness of things and their shapes? I think let's leave... No, okay. Another paragraph. In order to determine the moment at which the mutation in discourse took place, we must look beyond its thematic content or its logical modalities to the region where things and words have not yet been separated, and where, at the most fundamental level of language, seeing and saying are still one. We must re-examine the original distribution of the visible and invisible insofar as it is linked with the division between what is stated and what remains unsaid. Thus, the articulation of medical language and its object will appear as a single figure. But if one poses no retrospective question, there can be no priority. Only the spoken structure of the perceived, that full space in the hollow of which language assumes volume and size, may be brought up into the indifferent light of day. We must place ourselves and remain once and for all at the level of the fundamental spatialization and verbalization of the pathological, where the loquacious gaze with which the doctor observes the poisonous heart of things is born and communes with itself. Wow, that is a awfully negative take on the medical gaze. I mean, we talked about this at length the other week, so I'm not going to really go into too much analysis here. Again, as also I haven't really prepared an outline of things to say. So we're just going to do some reading, and let's queue up here in Fortnite and see how we are doing here. I think, okay, I used a replay buff. I saved a replay buffer file, and I see now that it's kind of slowed me down a little bit. I'm still experimenting with OBS and everything. And actually, speaking of experimenting with new little things for the stream, let's try typing something in. Flash. I think Flash should work. Exclamation mark Flash. Let's see. No? It's not. Okay. Well, you know, I tried. So, okay, it's not Flash. It's let's try this. CMYK. CMYK. Ready? Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So that's neat. You can also type in police. Well, let's not type in police. Let's type in RGB. Cool. So that's neat. All right. We can. Is that something that? Yeah. It looks like it's saved again. All right. Cool. That's enough of that. Let's see here. We're on page 12. Prefix 12. Latin 12. XII. You know what I might start doing? Because Yu-Gi-Oh! I've been playing a lot of Master Duel. Maybe we'll do Master Duel Monday or something like that. All right. Here we go. Let's queue up in a solo match. Let me make sure that my picture settings on the TV are good. Could be a little brighter. I'm playing on a 50-inch 4K HDR TV, which sounds really nice. And it is a quite nice TV. I've had it for a few years now, since I want to say 2019, Thanksgiving. Black Friday 2019 is when I got it, and works great. Works great. It's $150. You still can't find this TV for $150. It sells for like $220 on discount. So I am very pleased that I got it when I did. Let's see. If I'm sitting here, the chat kind of interferes with my face. Let's see if I can maybe minimize that. Yeah. There we go. I think that's a little better. Yeah, that way I'm not. All right, we got to swim at Sleepy, Camp Cuddle, and Logjam. I have marked Logjam because I've got another daily quest there. Build structures at Logjam. All right, we can do that. Easy. Easy. Uh-oh. Is this good? Yeah, this is... Oh, wow, I'm still on the intermission screen. Alrighty. Here we go. Alright, cool. Functional. Quite functional. I like to land here in duos. That's a pretty neat place to land. And it looks like that's where I'm going to land, because I did not make it to Logjam Lumberyard. I've failed in my task. Gosh. Alright, cool. Yes, much easier to play over here than how I was playing previously at the desk. Uh-oh, the internet. Let's not have internet issues. Come on. Hello. Maybe if we move this. And do I want a pistol? I do not want a pistol. All right, cool. We can swap for that. I hope this doesn't lead to any significant lag here. All right. We are doing well. So I turned on the motion controls here. That's something I'm very new to. I've been wanting to start using the whatchamacallit, Steam controller. I have a Steam controller that I got a while back, and I never started using it, and so I wanted to start doing that. And then Fortnite came out with these motion controls, so maybe I won't need to do that. Where... Someone's killing the dang thing, huh? Ooh. Well, someone... Oh, okay, and there was also that thing there, so maybe I should just go Okay, this could have gone a little better. Oh. Ooh, they think they're going to get me? Oh man, the lag. Not good, not good, not good. Oh gosh, I need to turn off that aiming assist thing. Well, no, I should get used to it. The directional aim, whatever. Okay, cool. I don't see any other minis. I'm not gonna scavenge or wait for them. This should be good enough. Maybe, do I need to move a little closer to the camera? No, no, that's plenty good. Huh. All right. What did I even hit? There was no object in the way there. Why would I be unable to edit the building? Whoa! All right, I'm turning off the little thing. Let's see how that goes. All right, I can practice all this stuff when I am not on. Oh, you know what? I will keep it on for just for harvesting. I can't do that. Why? Why won't they let you do that? That's kind of frustrating. Maybe I could turn like weapon sensitivity down, like the motion stuff. Scope, aiming, harvesting. Yeah. All right. No. Scope or aiming. Scoped multiplier, aiming multiplier. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. So scoped, aiming. No, no, this is a bad idea. Actually, you know what? Whatever. Okay. I don't even know what I'm trying to do here. All right, sleepy, cuddle, and... All right, I guess we're going to cuddle. All right, and then airborne supply drop, I guess? All right, then we go sleepy next, and we're done with the daily. Oh, I'm already done with the How? What did I do? I guess I'm still going to Camp Cuddle. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to read you some Foucault. Dang. Dang, dang, dang. I've failed you. See, I wanted this to be on here. This, and that to be the only place it was on. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Aha. Alright. No. Okay, cool. This should be what I wanted. Okay. And then... Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that. I wonder what the actual chance of a bird being purple or gold is. I bet not very high. Alrighty. Let's see. Pistol. No, it's not too exciting. I'm not sure if this is in this part of the building or not. Yep. Alright, so let's go for this chug. And then we can pick that up. Maybe hop in the tornado. I think that might be a good idea. No, it's far. No need for that. And there's a car. So that's neat. Let's go up this hill and see if we can get the heels that are near the house. And then after that, we can go and see if... we're not going to make it, are we? Ooh. Gosh. Oh, man. No success. Vroom vroom. Here we go. That's what I wanted. Anyway. Ooh. Do I want to do it? 250? Like, yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, cool. We will get to max shields. Awesome. Boom, 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 boom. Great, 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 great. All right, this is good. Do I keep the Medimist or take a pepper? I think I'm going to take a pepper. Especially because I... Oh, no. Oh, gosh, there's lag, after all. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, okay, I'll take the Klinger, and we'll try to damage players with a Klinger. That's probably a bad idea. 6-shooter. The 6-shooter sucks. I don't need the Purple Ranger. I don't think anyone does. I think next week, too, I might, instead of just hopping into the stream, I might start a little bit before 9, especially because I was so late today. And might try to plan the stream on stream. Well, we'll see. Exactly. I don't know. Okay, I like that better. There we go. Whoa, voom.ong. Yo, buddy. Buddy. Uh, How do I, block list? Put block user on YouTube, add to block list in chat? I think this removes the... Yeah, cool. I have removed the comment. Dang it. And my, thing is already worn off. That's okay. Whoa. See, I think there's some slight amount of scope, whatever, would be nice. Like small. I will continue messing with it because, yeah. I am really struggling here. So tense. God dang, it's just the Ranger. And a machine pistol. Interesting. Not sure how I feel about that combination of things. Let's try it. What do we have to lose? Nothing. Ooh, legendary chest though. Oh, and a purple MK. Man, how much is the purple MK? 100. I would have gone for that had I seen that. Had I known. Oh man, I would like a tent. Wow. Oh gosh, come on. That's lame. I want that, but I don't want it at the same time. Certainly not enough to merit. Ah, yeah. No, that's not it. Come on, homie. Well, let's see if I can change this really quick. Gyro aiming, active mode building is on editing only. Look stick effect. So not at all for building. Let's do editing. Scope multipliers times 0.1. Okay. Okay, cool. Yay. I don't see anything there anymore. I don't necessarily think he's still there. I think I saw the Spider-Man icon. Oh! I'll take it. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Whoa. Oh, where is this guy? Whoa! Oh my god, 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 oh my god. Oh! Dangerous. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Come on, come on. Ooh. Oh my god, he didn't see me. Oh my god. Are you kidding? Got a hit. What a joke. Nope, nope, nope. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Oh my god, what am I doing? Wow. Wow, what the hell am I doing? Alright. There we go. Jeez, man. Do. What is that? Is that schnozberries? Ooh, I got 36 seconds. That is not great. Not ideal. Okay. I don't know if 2 slices of pizza are more worth it than minis. Probably. I really like the pizza item. I think it's great. Oh my god. Okay, cool. Oh! Wow. That is ridiculous. Oh. What is that noise? So where is this guy? Is that them? Like right there? No, that's like just some random thing. I don't know if there's still someone in there. I am dead center though, so feeling like I probably Oh no! Oh come on, you gonna fake reload? God dang it. Oh. Alright, well, I'm definitely taking the win. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Which one is it? Which one is it? Go, 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 go. Let's go! Let's go! Dab! Oh, I have infinite dabs. Infinite dabs. Hoo, 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 hoo. Isn't that just delightful? I will mark my victory. Welcome. Welcome. Here, let's see about this. Let us congratulate ourselves on winning. Gold machine pistol win. If you can't read that, it says Foucault likes gold machine pistols. All right. Okay. Let's do a celebratory. Let's do a celebratory thing here. Let's go. Let's type in exclamation mark CMYK. Okay. That was fun. That was nice. Alrighty. So yeah, let's do this reading here. So yeah, we were talking about the medical gaze. That's where Foucault left us. Talking about the distinction between the descriptor, the describer, the person with the gaze, and the person being gazed upon. I think is maybe the easiest way to put it. Modern medicine has fixed its own date of birth as being in the last years of the 18th century. Hold on, give me a second. It's a little chilly. Let me turn on this heater. Hold on. Turn on the extension plug. Did that work? Did that turn on the heater? Yes, it did. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, cool. So, now that we are here, let's get back to our reading. Which way should I face? Is this good? Oh, yeah. Modern medicine has fixed its own date of birth as being in the last years of the 18th century. Reflecting on its situation, it identifies the origin of its positivity with a return over and above all theory, to the modest but affecting level of the perceived. In fact, this supposed empiricism is not based on a rediscovery of the absolute values of the visible, nor on the predetermined rejection of systems and all their chimeras, but on a reorganization of that manifest and secret space that opened up when a millennial gaze paused over men's sufferings. Nonetheless, the rejuvenation of medical perception, the way colors and things came to life under the illuminating gaze of the first clinicians, is no mere myth. At the beginning of the 19th century, doctors described what for centuries had remained below the threshold of the visible and the expressible. But this did not mean that after overindulging in speculation, they had begun to perceive once again, or that they listened to reason rather than to imagination. It meant that the relation between the visible and invisible, which is necessary to all concrete knowledge, changed its structure, revealing through gaze and language what had previously been below and beyond their domain. A new alliance was forged between words and things, enabling one to see and to say. Sometimes, indeed, the discourse was so completely naive that it seems to belong to a more archaic level of rationality, as if it involved a return to the clear, innocent gaze of some earlier golden age. In 1764, J. F. Meckel set out to study the alterations brought about in the brain by certain disorders, apoplexy, mania, phthisis. He used the rational method of weighing equal volumes and comparing them to determine which pairs of the brain had been dehydrated, which parts had been swollen, and by which diseases. And by which diseases. Modern medicine has made hardly any use of this research. Brain pathology achieved its positive form when Bichat and, above all, Récamier and Lallemande used the celebrated hammer with a broad thin end. If one proceeds with light taps, no concussion liable to cause disorders can result, as the skull is full. It is better to begin from the rear, because when only the occipital has to be broken, it is often so mobile that one misses one's aim. In the case of very young children, the bones are too supple to be broken and too thin to be sawn. They have to be cut with strong scissors. There's a citation for that. Citation 3. The fruit is then opened up. Oh my God. The fruit is then opened up. I'm picturing a neurosurgeon licking his lips, muttering the word juicy after he opens up your head fruit. From under the meticulously parted shell, a soft grayish mass appears, wrapped in viscous veined skins. A delicate, dingy-looking pulp within which, freed at last and exposed at last to the light of day, shines the seat of knowledge. The artisanal skill of the brain breaker has replaced the scientific precision of the scales, and yet our science since Bichat identifies with the former, the precise but immeasurable gesture that opens up the plenitude of concrete things, combined with the delicate network of their properties to the gaze, has produced a more scientific objectivity for us than instrumental arbitrations of quantity. Medical rationality plunges into the marvelous density of perception, offering the grain of things as the first face of truth, with their colors, their spots, their hardness, their adherence. The breadth of the experiment seems to be identified with a domain of the careful gaze, and of an empirical vigilance receptive only to the evidence of visible contents. The eye becomes the depositary and source of clarity. Clarity. And it has the power to bring a truth to light that it receives only to the extent that it has brought it to light. As it opens, the eye first opens the truth, a flexion that marks the transition from the world of classical clarity, from the Enlightenment, to the 19th century. For Descartes and Malebranche, to see was to perceive, even in the most concrete kinds of experience, such as Descartes' practice of anatomy or Malebranche's microscopic observations. But, without stripping perception of its sensitive body, it was a matter of rendering it transparent for the exercise of the mind. Light anterior to every gaze was the element of ideality, the unassignable place of origin where things were adequate to their essence, and the form by which things reached it through the geometry of bodies. According to them, the act of seeing, having attained perfection, was absorbed back into the unending figure of light. At the end of the 18th century, however, seeing consists in leaving to experience its greatest corporal opacity. The solidity, the obscurity, the density of things closed in upon themselves have powers of truth that they owe not to light, but to the slowness of the gaze that passes over them, around them, and gradually into them, bringing them nothing more than its own light. The residence of truth in the dark center of things is linked paradoxically to this sovereign power of the empirical gaze that turns their darkness into light. All light has passed over into the thin flame of the eye, which now flickers around solid objects and, in so doing, establishes their place and form. Rational discourse is based less on the geometry of light than on the insistent, impenetrable density of the object, for prior to all knowledge, the source, the domain, and the boundaries of experience can be found in its dark presence. The gaze is passively linked to the primary passivity that dedicates it to the endless task of absorbing experience in its entirety, and of mastering it. The task lay with this language of things, and perhaps with it alone, to authorize a knowledge of the individual that was not simply of a historic or aesthetic order. That the definition of the individual should be an endless labor was no longer an obstacle to an experience which, by accepting its own limits, extended its task into the infinite. By requiring the status of the object, its particular quality, its impalpable color, its unique transitory form took on weight and solidity. No light could now dissolve them in ideal truths, but the gaze directed upon them would, in turn, awaken them and make them stand out against a background of objectivity. The gaze is no longer reductive. It is, rather, that which establishes the individual in his irreducible quality. And thus it becomes possible to organize a rational language around it. The object of discourse may equally well be a subject, without the figures of objectivity being in any way altered. It is this formal reorganization, in depth, rather than the abandonment of theories and old systems that made clinical experience possible. It lifted the old Aristotelian prohibition. One could at last hold a scientifically structured discourse about an individual. Neat. Let's see, this next section, and it's a little ways away. But yeah, I guess we'll finish this after this next game. Let's see. I gotta at least land top 50. It doesn't count if we die off spawn. So let's see. We're all sleepy. Sleepy. Let's go sleepy sound. Might as well get the 750 experience. We could try to damage players with the Klinger. I still have not done the Gunner quest. Maybe I could do a fill game. No, I feel like if I do a fill game with randoms, well, I don't know. Streamers do it, right? That's a thing. I was just thinking, if I get a fill game, like, what if someone throws out some racial slurs or something? Like, that's a concerning possibility, and then who gets banned? I get banned, you know? So, I don't know. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna I'm gonna turn this up. Scoped is gonna be less. We can go aiming at 20. Editing multiplier. We're gonna have this is gonna have to be like 20 as well. All right. Well, we will keep this. Oh, wonderful. That was actually a. Oh no, not a decent jump. Oh well. We're gonna land there and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be fantastic. We're not going to Shifty. We're not going to Shifty. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Well, you know what? Oh no! What is that guy doing? What was that? Did I just kill someone that was trying to do some exploit or something? I'm sorry if I interrupted something cool. It's kind of bizarre. Whoa! Wow. Really? Okay, so that needs to be like maybe 0.2. Okay. There we go. Cool. Not too terrible of a start. Much better. Much better. I'm very happy with moving to this couch here. This is definitely what I was complaining about. You can see if you look at my old gameplay, it's terrible compared to how I'm doing now. It's not even close. It's man, I remember my first stream. I was like, everyone was like probably thinking this guy's never played Fortnite before. Hey. No, I have no way to win this engagement here. Please. All right, we have. Do we have a ways to go? Yes, yeah, I should get going. Storm ain't gonna wait for me. Alright, we got that out of the way. Cool. Yeah, we can make it all the way. I stopped to pick up this SMG, see what's going on here. Alright, I could use some ammo. And brick. Use some stone as well. Something I've got none of. Okay. Bit of a strange find here. There's really no AR ammo. There's all of this, and none of that. Oh, that is my nephew. I should shoot him a text. Let him know that I'm busy. Wow. Oh my god, how am I doing so poorly? Oh, no, no. Man, come on. Oh. Ugh. Oh, Max, I will text you. Why is my controller shaking like so? Man. Ay. Gosh. Bandages? You gotta be kidding me. Alright, I can respond to Max. Oh no. Truck. Come on. Yes. What's my controller shaking? It's like, is it from the low constant damage I'm taking?
Party Royale Radio.
Alright. Okay, cool. Wonderful. Alright, let's see if we can possibly get some heals out of here. Uh, oh, I did something very stupid, didn't I? Okay, I'll take that. There's no heals? Dude. I've got to find something. Oh, come on. Come on. I don't want to die like this. This is so sad. Oh. Oh, oh, there's... Oh, please, please, please have heals. Please have heals, because if this doesn't have heals... Oh, no! No! Well, you know, I placed 15th, so yeah, it's... Eh. Eh. Alright, let's switch to this... Wow, I played the whole time on the damn intermission screen. Hello. Alright, look, let's try to kill this chapter, and if I make it alive this next game, I make it alive. Alright, so we're still in preface. We have finished with Descartes, Malebranche, the old Aristotelian prohibition. When could at last hold a scientifically structured discourse about an individual? Is this a good... Yeah. Our contemporaries see in this ascension to the individual the establishment of a unique dialogue, the most concentrated formulation of an old medical humanism. As old as man's compassion, the mindless phenomenologies of understanding mingle the sand of the conceptual desert with this half-baked notion, the feebly eroticized vocabulary of encounter and of the doctor-patient relationship, the couple médecin-malade, exhausts itself in trying to communicate the pale powers of matrimonial fantasies to so much non-thought. Clinical experience, that opening up of the concrete individual for the first time in Western history to the language of rationality, that major event in the relationship of man to himself and of language to things, was soon taken as a simple, unconceptualized confrontation of a gaze in a face or a glance in a silent body, a sort of contact prior to all discourse, free of the burdens of language, by which two living individuals are trapped in a common but non-reciprocal situation. Recently, in the interests of an open market, so-called liberal medicine has revived the old rights of a clinic, understood as a special contract, a tacit pact made between one man and another. This patient gaze has been attributed with the power of assuming, with the calculated addition of reasoning, neither too much nor too little, the general form of all scientific observation. Block quote. In order to be able to offer each of our patients a course of treatment perfectly adapted to his illness and to himself, we try to obtain a complete objective idea of his case. We gather together a file of his own, all the information we have about him. We observe him in the same way that we observe the stars, or a laboratory experiment. Let me at least try to make a landing that is perhaps reasonable. All right. Yeah, that'll do just fine. All right. Miracles are not so easy to come by. The mutation that made it possible, and which continues to do so every day, for the patient's bed to become a field of scientific investigation and discourse is not the sudden explosive mixture of an old practice and an even older logic, or that of a body of knowledge and some strange sensorial element of touch, glance, or flair. Medicine made its appearance as a clinical science in conditions which define, together with its historical possibility, the domain of its experience and the structure of its rationality. They form its concrete a priori, which it is now possible to uncover, perhaps because a new experience of disease is coming into being that will make possible a historical and critical understanding of the old experience. I did not get killed. To the tune of We Don't Talk About Bruno. Nut. Gosh, is there anything over here? Nothing at all. Wow, a chest. Who is behind me? Like, directly behind me, and why? What a strange absurdity. Okay, cool. All right, we have some weapons here. This might not be as impossible as I had initially thought. This is doable. Let's go. Heavy shotgun. I'm down. All right, let's take a break from this Foucault. We're gonna do something here. That the... Oh, he's killing the shark? Awesome. Let's go. Ooh, we even have a chest here. Maybe the shark will kill him. It'll be great. Either way. Just don't want him to get away from the shark. That's the only thing we can't have happen. All right. Homie, what are you doing? This is 100% a bot. Oh, gosh. Oh, look, we're switching. We're switching now. We're switching because I know I'm totally on top of my OBS game. Woo! Woo! Oh, that was on purpose. So, check it. Let's see what we got. Ranger. Classic. Yo, who are you? Stay away. All right. Yeah, let's grab that. Wow, we even got Storm, pretty much. We have mats. This really could not have gone much better. All things considered. Wow! What a bot move! They left the complete thing. Wow. Well, let's see what we got. If there's more chugs, maybe... Ah, yeah! That might be worth taking. I much prefer the chugs, slurp-type heals are almost always going to be better. You can cover more than one kind of injury. Is talking about heals an example of the medical gaze? I don't know. I think I'm just going to use these. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, that's not what I should have done. God. Well, I guess I'm running now for a minute because I don't want to waste that. Yeah, God dang it. I'm getting my dang chugs back. I'm gonna shoot this bird down. Okay. Is that too far to even... Yeah, I think it is. Where's that vehicle I had? Over there. All right, cool. Once I get that, is Storm closing yet? No, Storm is not closing. That is a boar, not a vehicle. Chill out, boar man. What's this? I will. Let's see what our good pal Max stated. I hope he didn't leave me be. Okay, cool. It looks like we're good. Alright, let's escape Storm and then we finish our little Foucault thing. And I will be off here. Let's see. This has been an hour and a half. That's a good length, I feel like. I will come more prepared next week, and I really would like to try to do more streaming throughout the week, not just Friday, Sunday. I would really like to write on Wednesday, and since I've been editing now for work, I would like to edit on stream. I think that would be a neat thing, a neat niche to hit, because I doubt there's too many academic editors doing their work on stream. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to do live publications that I'm actually getting paid for, because that's unpublished science, and I don't want to steal people's science. So, but there's plenty of stuff that I could go through, do some practice edits or something like that. Where's the thing? All right. Is that more pizza? Woo. All right. Woo. Gosh. Gosh. Go me. Go me. Alright, like, I don't want that. So, that is useless to me. No, I don't know. I want to look for more heals, I suppose. I don't want to use up either of my beautiful, full, perfect heals. Whee! Let's see, gold MK, Spider-Man, gold SMG. I'm gonna leave that all in there, honestly. The gold ranger is not really worth putting in there. I think having the tent is nice at the start of the game. Like, if you land on your tent, I mean, you can get some good stuff out of it. Oh, this is not good. I am lagging. Lagging like crazy. There is some guy there. I bet he's going to try to go up that. So once he does... where'd he go? Whoa! Oh, gosh. Well, we all saw that coming. I saw that coming. All right, let's see here. Let's go to the screen here. All right, yeah, we're just wrapping things up here. We are going to finish up this chapter here. So, okay, let me reread this chapter that I got halfway through. Yeah. Miracles are not so easy to come by. The mutation that made it possible, and which continues to do so every day, for the patient's bed to become a field of scientific investigation and discourse is not the sudden explosive mixture of an old practice and an even older logic, or that of a body of knowledge and some strange sensorial element of touch, glance, or flair. Medicine made its appearance as a clinical science in conditions which define, together with its historical possibility, the domain of its experience and the structure of its rationality. They form its concrete a priori, which is now possible to uncover, perhaps because a new experience of disease is coming into being that will make possible a historical and critical understanding of the old experience. A detour is necessary here if we are to lay the foundations of our discourse on the birth of the clinic. It is a strange discourse, I admit, since it will be based neither on the present consciousness of clinicians, nor even on a repetition of what they once might have said. I think that's an interesting construction. It will be based neither on X, nor even on Y. It may well be that we belong to an age of criticism whose lack of a primary philosophy reminds us at every moment of its reign and its fatality. An age of intelligence that keeps us irremediably at a distance from an original language. For Kant, the possibility and necessity of a critique were linked, through certain scientific contents, to the fact that there is such a thing as knowledge. In our time, and Nietzsche, the philologist, testifies to it, they are linked to the fact that language exists, and that in the innumerable words spoken by men, whether they are reasonable or senseless, demonstrative or poetic, a meaning has taken shape that hangs over us, leading us forward in our blindness, but awaiting in the darkness for us to attain awareness before emerging into the light of day and speaking. We are doomed historically to history, to the patient construction of discourses about discourses, and to the task of hearing what has already been said. God, this is another 4 pages. I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've read 9. We got 4 more. But is it inevitable that we should know of no other function for speech, parole, than that of commentary? Commentary questions discourse as to what it says and intended to say. It tries to uncover that deeper meaning of speech that enables it to achieve an identity within itself, supposedly nearer to its essential truth. In other words, in stating what has been said, one has to restate what has never been said. In this activity known as commentary, which tries to transmit an old, unyielding discourse seemingly silent to itself into another, more prolix discourse that is both more archaic and more contemporary, is concealed a strange attitude towards language. To comment is to admit by definition an excess of the signified over the signifier, a necessary, unformulated remainder of thought that language has left in the shade. A remainder that is the very essence of that thought, driven outside its secret, but to comment also presupposes that this unspoken element slumbers within speech, parole, and that by a superabundance proper to the signifier, one may, in questioning it, give voice to a content that was not explicitly signified. By opening up the possibility of commentary, this double plethora dooms us to an endless task that nothing can limit. There is always a certain amount of signified remaining that must be allowed to speak. while the signifier is always offered to us in an abundance that questions us in spite of ourselves as to what it means, veut dire. Signifier and signified thus assume a substantial autonomy that accords the treasure of a virtual signification to each of them separately. One may even exist without the other, and begin to speak of itself. Commentary resides in that supposed space. But at the same time, it invents a complex link between them, a whole tangled web that concerns the poetic values of expression. The signifier is not supposed to translate without concealing, without leaving the signified with an inexhaustible reserve. The signified is revealed only in the visible, heavy world of a signifier that is itself burdened with a meaning that it cannot control. Commentary rests on the postulate that speech, parole, is an act of translation, that it has the dangerous privilege images have of showing while concealing, and that it can be substituted for itself indefinitely in the open series of discursive repetition. In short, it rests on a psychologistic interpretation of language that shows the stigmatas of its historical origin. This is an exegesis, which is a word I'm not familiar with. Exegesis. Interesting. Exegesis. Exegesis? I don't know. Let's see. Define exegesis. Definitely mispronounced that.
Exegesis is usually defined as critical explanation or interpretation of a text or portion of a text, especially of the Bible.
Okay, so critical analysis. Critical literary analysis. Neat. I hope you guys could hear that. That was the Amazon Echo device. All right, so this is an exegesis which listens through the prohibitions, the symbols, the concrete images, through the whole apparatus of revelation, to the word of God, ever secret, ever beyond itself. For years we have been commenting on the language of our culture from the very point where for centuries we had awaited in vain for the decision of the word. To speak about the thought of others, to try to say what they have said, has by tradition been to analyze the signified. But must the things said elsewhere and by others be treated exclusively in accordance with the play of signifier and signified, as a series of themes present more or less implicitly to one another? Is it not possible to make a structural analysis of discourses that would evade the fate of commentary by supposing no remainder, nothing in excess of what has been said, but only the fact of its historical appearance? The facts of discourse would then have to be treated not as autonomous nuclei of multiple significations, but as events and functional segments gradually coming together to form a system. The meaning of a statement would then be defined not by the treasure of intentions that it might contain, revealing and concealing it at the same time, but by the difference that articulates it upon the other real or possible statements, which are contemporary to it, or to which it is opposed in the linear series of time. A systematic history of discourses would then become possible. Until recently, the history of ideas was only aware of two methods. The first, aesthetic method, involved analogy, with diffusion chartered in time, geneses, filiations, kinships, influences, or on the surface of a given historical space, the spirit of a period, its Weltanschauung. Long German words. Weltanschauung. I tried. Weltanschauung, its fundamental categories, the organization of its sociocultural world. The second, which was a psychological method, involved a denial of contents. This or that century was not as rationalistic or irrationalistic as was said or believed, from which there has been developed a sort of psychoanalysis of thought, the result of which can quite legitimately be reversed, the nucleus of the nucleus being always its opposite. I should like to attempt here the analysis of a type of discourse, that of medical experience, at a period when, before the great discoveries of the 19th century, it had changed its materials more than its systematic form. The clinic is both a new carving up of things and the principle of their verbalization in a form which we have accustomed to recognizing as the language of a positive science. To anyone wishing to draw up an inventory of its themes, the idea of the clinic would undoubtedly seem to be imbued with rather vague values. Insipid figures would probably take shape, such as the strange effect of disease on the patient, the diversity of individual temperaments, the probability of pathological evolution, the need for sharp perception, the need to be constantly alert to the slightest visible modalities, the empirical form, cumulative and endlessly open to medical knowledge, old threadbare notions that had been medicine's basic tools as far back as the Greeks. I just want to say that this is a pretty cool sentence. A little hard to understand when read out loud, but it's got this long list, separated by commas, comma delineated list. And it starts with this dependent clause and then it uses a weird, almost passive verb structure, or it is, I guess it is passive. Would undoubtedly seem to be imbued with. So would undoubtedly seem to be being the passive part, and then imbued is a cool verb. Rather vague values, semicolon. Insipid figures would probably take shape, such as x, y, such as x of A, y of B, z of C, comma, and then there's a parenthetical phrase, and then comma, the empirical form, and then a phrase separated by m dashes, and then that's the end of the list. And then the second m dash replaces what appears to function as a colon. Old threadbare notions that had been medicine's basic tools as far back as the Greeks. This sentence has it all. It's got commas, it's got a semicolon, it's got a fake colon, it's got m dashes, it's got dependent clauses, it's got a mix of this is a cool sentence. I just gotta say, especially with editing recently, I've been very analytical in terms of paying attention to sentence structure in many contexts, and I just want to say I appreciate this. Go Foucault! Go Foucault! Nothing in this ancient arsenal can designate clearly what took place at that turning point in the 18th century, when the calling into question of the old clinical theme produced, if we are to believe first appearances, an essential mutation in medical knowledge. Nonetheless, considered on an all-over basis, the clinic appears, in terms of the doctor's experience, as a new outline of the perceptible and statable, a new distribution of the discrete elements of corporeal space. For example, the isolation of tissue, a functional, two-dimensional area, in contrast with the functioning mass of the organ, constituting the paradox of an internal surface. A reorganization of the elements that make up the pathological phenomenon. A grammar of signs has replaced a botany of symptoms. A definition of the linear series of morbid events as opposed to the table of nosological species. A welding of the disease onto the organism. The disappearance of the general morbid entities that grouped symptoms together in a single logical figure, and their replacement by a local status that situates the being of the disease with its causes and effects in a three-dimensional space. Again, what a weird sentence. This is... I'm not even going to bother breaking this down. I honestly did not follow it as I was reading. I followed the first one. This one, there's too many parenthetical phrases. And I'm really sorry, because this is not, judging by his writing so far, this is not the book to read out loud. This is tough. If you see it, you can see it. It makes sense visibly because you can see the parenthetical phrases, but read out loud, it's hard to keep track of all those pauses. Anyway, let's see here. The appearance of the clinic as a historical fact must be identified with the system of these reorganizations. This new structure is indicated, but not of course exhausted, by the minute but decisive change, whereby the question, "What is the matter with you?" with which the ancient century dialogue between doctor and patient began, a dialogue possessing its own grammar and style, was replaced by that other question, "Where does it hurt?" in which we recognize the operation of the clinic and the principle of its entire discourse. Man, this guy buries dependent clauses, independent clauses, independent clauses. And then puts it in a weird colon thing. It is odd. I like it. I like the style of writing, but it's different. Wordy, for sure. From then on, the whole relationship of signifier to signified at every level of medical experience is redistributed, between the symptoms that signify and the disease that is signified, between the description and what is described, between the event and what it prognosticates, between the lesion and the pain that it indicates, etc. The clinic, constantly praised for its empiricism, the modesty of its attention, and the care with which it silently lets things surface to the observing gaze without disturbing them with discourse, owes its real importance to the fact that it is a reorganization in depth, not only of medical discourse, but of the very possibility of a discourse about disease. The restraint of clinical discourse, its rejection of theory, its abandonment of systems, its lack of a philosophy, also proudly proclaimed by doctors, it reflects the non-verbal conditions on the basis of which it can speak, the common structure that carves up and articulates what is seen and what is said. The research that I am undertaking here, therefore, involves a project that is deliberately both historical and critical, in that it is concerned, outside all prescriptive intent, with determining the conditions of possibility of medical experience in modern times. I should like to make it plain, once and for all, that this book has not been written in favor of one kind of medicine as against another kind of medicine, or against medicine and in favor of an absence of medicine. It is a structural study that sets out to disentangle the conditions of its history from the density of discourse, as do others of my works. What counts in the things said by men is not so much what they may have thought, or to the extent to which these things represent their thoughts, is that which systematizes them from the outset, thus making them thereafter endlessly accessible to new discourses and open to the task of transforming them. And then he has here 4 sources that were marked by in-text citations, and then it begins, the birth of the clinic. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna erase this here so y'all can see again that this is truly erasable. This is fun. I really like the whiteboard surface that I've painted this whole bus in. Fortnite and Foucault. Fortnite and Foucault. Fortnite and Foucault. Boom. Well, yep. Thank you all for coming. To whoever did join us here. These stream avatars are not placed over the... Oh, I see. I see. Okay, I need to transform this to fit to screen. Aha! Wow, that's beautiful. That's just wonderful. Okay. Awesome. Whee! All right. Well, anyways, you all, thank you so much for supporting me on this endeavor. I am back to streaming. I don't know if we'll be doing Splitgate on Sunday or perhaps something else. I don't know, but I will be doing Pokemon soon. I don't know which Pokemon game. I still have not gotten anything more recent than Shield. So I'm guessing the new Gen 4 remakes are going to be happening soon. I am just recently not entirely broke, so I'm trying to not spend my money on just video games. But yeah, there's that. There's Legends of Arceus, which I think is saturated enough that no one cares. Probably Pokemon Showdown, and probably Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, or Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, I don't know. Something like that. I really want to do Writing Wednesdays, so that's probably going to look like some free writing and some editing. And I don't know, I've got a few other ideas, so we shall see. I've got some modified, like hacked ROMs, Pokemon ROMs, so maybe I'll do Pokemon ROMs. I don't know. But yeah, we're back at it. We're back at it. I'll be doing more streams outside the bus too, fairly soon. Oh, and I want to show you guys. Yeah, might as well. I'm going to show you guys this thing here. This is my girlfriend's mushroom tent. She has been growing mushrooms in that. Look at that. It's like a whole thing. It's called a Martha tent. And she has like mushrooms in there. Check it out. She's growing gourmet, I think, blue king oyster mushrooms. Yeah, she's been putting a lot of work into it. And if you're interested in mushrooms and mushroom-related content, check her out on YouTube. Her name is Hannah Boggio. That's Boggio, and it's Hannah with an H on both ends. Hannah. Yeah, and she's had a video like every day for the past, I don't know, like week almost. So yeah, she's been putting out plenty of content. I'm excited to eat those things. She made some like vegan chicken and waffles a while back with some mushrooms that she grew out of a kit, and it was awesome. So yeah, I'm very excited to see all this happening. It's a neat hobby to watch unfold. Mushrooms are weird. But anyway, thank you all for joining me here. Again, I will be headed off. Check out some merch. Boom. Woo. All right. See you guys. Thank you for watching. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day.